the fact that we have AI is one thing, but the fact that it converges with other technologies is really the booster. So thinking about sensors, so we have an agricultural environment, we can have temperature sensors, but we can also know how the seeds are progressing. We can put in and say, if it's a tomato, this is how much sunlight it needs, this is how much water it needs, et cetera. And then the algorithm can do machine to machine and carry on its own, and the farmer can look on the tablet to see how things are going. Some of the challenges in this could be if the cybersecurity challenges, such as people who are hacking in or data going out and it being manipulated. But these are maybe, so to speak, a classical cybersecurity problem. Some new interesting spoofing challenges for AI. I found some examples that I thought might be interesting for us all here. And one is with simple autonomous cars and stop signs. There was a team of researchers from several universities in the US, and they put graffiti on a stop sign. So it's a red stop sign, and it says stop, and at the top they put graffiti that says love, and at the bottom they put a graffiti that says hate. And the autonomous vehicle was not able to recognize that. And so this is one type of adversarial artificial intelligence in a physical domain that affects the software level. A human, of course, it doesn't matter how many stickers are on a stop sign, even if the stop was not visible, we all know that the stop sign is a stop and we would stop. So that's one example. Another example, this is from Lab 6 at MIT. They did a research to show that a 3D printed turtle, which they've created, can spoof an AI into thinking that it was a rifle. This example can be quite useful when we think about autonomous weapon systems and the detection aspect. And another one which I thought was quite interesting from an adversarial perspective is there was a group over at Berkeley, some students who have put together this audio that is inaudible for the humans, but it is audible for our phones, like whether it's Siri on the iPhone or Amazon Alexa or Google Home, they're able to hear those commands when we are not able to hear. What that means is they have already proved the concept where they have put these inaudible commands inside music and inside like YouTube videos, and it would make the phone either go into plane mode, or it could even make it go onto a website. Now, this is a proof of concept and an example, but imagine that in other domains. Imagine that if you're at the operating table in a hospital, or imagine if that's an autonomous weapon system getting commands that a human didn't even know were coming through. So I think those are some quite interesting challenges for that. Another example is, while it does unlock tremendous value, I think that just like when we think about digitization, we need to be aware of the fact that we are dependent on all of this technology. And recently, a few weeks ago, the city of Atlanta had experienced some cyber attacks, which reduced their efficiency and their ability to perform services as normal for the government there. And I think it's a moment where you say, how much are we dependent, and do we have a fallback plan? Is there a way that we can continue in low tech instead of high tech? And when everything is going to be cognified, and Andrew Ng, who's the former AI director over at Beidou, he said that AI is going to be the new electricity. And if we're going to rely on it so much like we rely on electricity, we also need to think about what would happen in the circumstances where it is compromised, or it isn't operating at 100%, or even not at all. So that, I think, is one of the challenges that we need to think as we design it, but also design for a fallback plan when it's not operating. Going back, for example, to hospitals and agriculture, if the AI isn't functioning properly, is there a way that we can continue to operate without losing lives or crops?